Hi diddly dee and good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining me on my Facebook page today. That squeak is me just trying to adjust my camera in my stand. Sorry about that. So today I thought I'd play with Fireside Trimmings bundle, which can be found in the autumn, winter or August to December mini catalogue. So if you'd like to get your hands on your own copy of this catalogue, then do get in touch and let me know. So this comes as a stamp set, and then there are some matching dies to go with it as well. To excuse the plaster today, me and the trimmer had a bit of an argument. Enough said about that. Okay, so I wanted to have a play with using the Stamperators and the shimmer paper to see what we could create using those things. So I want to do some heat embossing and just creating a bit of a scenery. So hello and welcome. Now I did wonder whether to do two different cards, to do a autumn and a winter card. So we'll see how we get on. Maybe I should start with winter, and if we've got time go to autumn. That would be more sensible, as I've advertised that we're making a Christmas card. For me then to say we're doing an autumn one might thoroughly confuse people. Okay, somewhere on this table. Great to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm just going to adjust you so you can see what's going on. Now, this is a, what's he called? Embossing buddy. So inside is just powder to clear the surface. Now I was hoping my camera was going to cooperate to do today and not do the zoom in and out thing, but I pressed the button and it doesn't seem to make any difference. Never mind. We shall carry on. Good morning, and good afternoon. Let's have a look. Hi there, Tina. Hi, Christine and Valerie and Barbie and Valerie. Oh, I said Valerie already. And Laurie. So I'm going to use Versamark ink, which is a sticky ink, which is perfect for heat embossing. And we're going to do this in stages. So I'm going to set my mantelpiece right in the centre. And then I think I'm going to just do another inking up, because it looks as if I've managed to miss some spots. Let me just stand up and give it a good press all over. There we go, put your palm into it. And I think a bit of gold embossing powder for this one. So a bit of a slow burner today as we kind of just do this together. I'm trying to find a scrap piece of paper. This will do. So because we're building up a scene, we don't want to get embossing powder everywhere, but we want it in certain places. So I'm just going to heat up my heat tool. Now I've not actually embossed this this particular stamp set yet, so this could be rather interesting to see how it comes out. And then the idea is to build up some more pictures around it, because there's lots of things, you know, you can make the house your own with this stamp set. Welcome, nice to see you. Please remind me how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to get it wrong, and I've tried, and when I try I just make it worse. Right, got to be careful not to knock my powder or to blow it all away, so let's just be a bit more careful. So just watch your microphones, I should have said before. Just going to use the heat gun. I heat underneath first, because this gets the cards nice and warm. And then we're going to go on top, and this will melt the powder. It makes it turn all shiny. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit, so you can see what's going on. When it turns shiny, that's when you want to move to the next part. No worries, Christine. Just missed a spot. Hope it goes well. So Sorry, I feel like I'm shouting. I don't mean to. Just make sure my voice is heard overly. Okay, I'm going to put this back in and we're going to look at what other images we have in our stamp set. So, like I said, because we're going Christmassy, we can afford to add a few bits and pieces. Let's have a look. I wonder whether to put things on the floor so that I've got space for something up here, or whether just to put a few bits on the mantelpiece. So I've got the deer, some trees, put a lantern. Maybe the trees should go in the middle. And we've got a little clock here as well. All sorts. I like the little clock. It's like a vintagey one. There. And I'm feeling the need for something else on the ground, so we'll pop a vase down there. And then the joy of the Stamparatus is I can pick it all up in one go, just grabbing my other window. Like so. Now the photopolymer stamps tend to be a bit more sticky, so sometimes you might find that things move a bit underneath, so just bear that in mind when you come to do this. Right. Just find my Buddy again. Buddy the elf. Can you guys see? I'm a bit zoomed out. Okay, so going back with our clear Versamark ink, we're putting ink to the stamps because they're already fixed onto that platform. Give it a good old press all over. So yeah, this is the kind of stamps that where you need a bit of time because it is scene building. It's not necessary. I mean, you can make quick cards with this, but for this technique that I'm doing with embossing, this is more like a luxury step it up type card. So if you're thinking about Christmas, and if you're the kind of person that likes stamping up stuff, yes, Lynn, thank you, Christine, it's Fireside Trimmings, that's what it's called, and it's on page 20 of the mini catalogue. So if you are in the UK and you like the idea of a wish list and people actually buying things that you'd like, rather than random things that you might not want, then I'm going to start a scheme where people can email me their wish lists, and then you share that list with that list to your friends. They email me and let me know what they'd like to order. You can sort it out that way. So like you would any other kind of wish list, you want to write up what you'd like. Write the details, the code, the item, let me know what it is, let your friends and family know that you've got a wish list going, and if they want to order from me, they send me an email to say yep. So if you get on an order in November, you are kind of guaranteed that you'll get there for Christmas, but if you leave it till December, you can't guarantee that as much. So I would kind of get your skates on and think about ordering or getting your wish list together sooner rather than later. Oh, missed a spot. Okay, so now we've got a nice luxurious gold setting. for our fireplace. Ah, hi Wendy, nice to see you. Okay, it looks more yellow on screen, but I just think that's because of my lighting. So let's think about some colours to colour in our picture. So I've used, what's it called? Shimmer paper today. So I'm just trying to pull out my aqua brushes and we can lay down some colour onto the picture with a bit of water. So soft suede, nice sort of mantelpiece colour, isn't it? There we are. Trying to find the thicker brush to lay down some colour. I did water last week, didn't I? Oh, I've got a bit of green in there. Oh well, this will be interesting to see what colour it comes out. So when I tend to do, if you're doing shading, I'm going to sort of follow the L shape of my picture and lay down some, think about where the darker spots might be, which is a little bit tricky without a visual, but I'm going to just go for it and see what we come up with. When you colour with water, this is the speedy bit. You can lay down that colour and it spreads. Christine says, I think the set of trees looked like a sailing yacht. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hi there, Ruth. So the great thing about watercolour is you can keep adding, so I can make these colours a little bit deeper. Create nice kind of depth of shading. Like I said, I'm not, the most skilled at the shading bit, but just following the kind of L shape helps you to get some kind of shadowing on. Just think about an L shape and it will help. What was I going to say to you? Yeah, so the because we've laid down that embossing, it acts as a resist. So where the water is falling, it won't go beyond that unless you go on the other side by accident. There we go. Nice bit of oak furniture going on here. I'm not really adding any more water in at this stage. I'm just picking up from my palette. There we go. Oh, it looks really professional, don't you think? Just following that simple step of doing that L shape. Okay, I think we could do with a nice vintage clock as well. So again, although we haven't got an L shape here, we'll just go round and do one side a little bit lighter. There we go. There, right. And then let's think about some different colours for the other bits and pieces. I think cinnamon cider for our deer is a nice deer colour. Deer, deer, deer. Sorry, had to be done. So I'm going to give it a wash all over, leaving his tummy exposed, and then coming back with a bit of a deeper colour. And then going around the top of his body, head, and just down the legs to create a bit of shading. Oh dear, 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 dear. Right, enough of the deers. Let's find some green. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So if you just squeeze your Stampin' Up ink pad into the lid, it creates a nice palette for you to work with. Now sometimes with these trees I like to leave one side white so it looks as if it's a bit more snowy. Again, following my little L-shaped rule. And we've got different aqua pens, so at this point you might want to be using the thinner one, unlike me who's using the broader nib. There we go. Oh, my doorbell's ringing. Bear with me, please. Sorry. Come in. It's Christmas Day yet. Oh dear. So sorry about that. Right. There we go. Where are we? So, I'm thinking red lantern. What colour should we do our vase? Right, I'm going to swap up my pen and use this one. No, somebody that needed to come and pick something up. She wasn't going to come till later. She said, "Did you get my message?" I'm thinking, no, that's because I'm doing my live. That's okay. That's how you can tell it's live, can't you? When your doorbell rings. There, class A. Now, it does come with a candle, but I'm going to just paint one in. And then to make it look a little bit more Christmassy, I think we'll do this red as well. Oh, my candle's getting a bit blobby, but it's the wax is melted, that's why. Vase, what colour shall we make you? I'm not fancying red for the vase. I'm wondering whether to go... Let's add in a bit of yellowy, like a golden vase. Crushed curry. That would have been nice. An assistant in my stamp room. Yeah, she could have. But not around here at the moment with the rules and regs. You're allowed to meet one person outside of your home at the moment. There. Oh yeah, that's nice. And then let's light up this candle. Lovely. Aww. Okay, so I feel that it needs a bit of a colour wash because it's on a kind of quite a plain background. So let me just check. No, I've not missed any comments, that's okay. Now maybe I should have done this before, but I'm kind of crafting on the fly, as they call it, so we make up as we go along. Oh, she's dripping. Let's see if I can do a bit of a colour wash without mucking this up. There we go. Right. So then to add to this, I thought we could do some die cutting. And I've done here's one I made earlier. So with these, when you've got intricate dies like this, you don't want to be gluing the tiny little pieces. So Stampin' Up sell some sticky strip which you can stick onto your card. If you've got the big main catalogue, it's on page 172 and it's called adhesive sheets, and it has a backing which you peel away. You can cut it down. I've stuck it on the back of my cardstock here, put the die on, run it through my machine, and then you get the gorgeous detailed cutouts, and then you peel away this backing and it's nice and sticky, ready to stick to your project. So we're going to have some hanging. Now because this is quite thin, it's quite flexible, so I'm just going to bend it a little bit in the direction that I want it to go in. Now I might need to just dry off my paper because it might stop it from sticking. Give it a light blast. Now the Stampin' Up tool's got two settings on it, 1 and 2. Number 2 makes it go faster and hotter. Number 1 is great for just this kind of job where you're just trying to not heat it up to a high heat, but just to dry things out. And quieter, of course. So welcome if you're new watching. Please do make yourself known. We'll give you a lovely warm welcome. And I tend to be on social media on a Tuesday. I'm on YouTube later, and I'm hoping to do a collaboration with the paper pumpkin kit, which remind me to show you later. So I've peeled off that backing and that's already nice and sticky. So I'm going to create a nice swag along the middle of my card, like so. Oh, do you know what I've forgotten? I've forgotten that teeny tiny star, which we've got to colour. There we go. So you can do any kind of scene building with this. Like I said, there's some autumn type images in there with pumpkins, and you've got stars and banners that you can use for your bows or your swags, whatever you want to call them, to decorate your front room. And I did another fancy card with this, with a fun fold, called a bridge fold card. So you can check that out on my YouTube channel. Just gonna have this coming off the page like that, and I'm just gonna tear that off. Is that gonna fit in there? Let's make it fit. There we go. Give it a good press down. Right, I'm just going to turn him over, and as you can see we've got some bits sticking up, so I'm just going to grab my snips to get rid of those overhanging bits. Good morning, Cindy. How are you today? Okay, so we've got the holly, but we could do with some holly berries, I think. And I feel the need for some window paper. What's window paper when it's no such thing as window paper? I'm thinking wallpaper with a nice bit of this damask pattern here. So I'm going to get one out with my new blending brushes, from available from Stampin' Up for the new year. And I'm going to use the Smoky Slate, which matches the background wall. What am I squeezing it for? I don't need to do that. Just going to dab my brush in, pick up some colour. Hi Eve, thank you for joining. So I want this nice and straight so it looks like it should be part of the wall, and I'm just going to gently brush. Oh, why is it coming out red? That's weird. Why is it coming out red for? I must have used red in that in my grey. Oh dear. Well, it's too late to take it off now, isn't it? So we'll carry on. That was a big surprise. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Can you tell? Well, I'm going to have ready wallpaper, pinky wallpaper this way. Let me just have a quick. How strange. I wonder if I have got some sort of pinky colour on my... Whoa, look at that. We've got pinky red wallpapers, which we didn't anticipate. How funny. It must have got contaminated my ink. Okay. So, this isn't the finished article. We need to get a piece of card to stick this on. Where have I put my blank cards? I've moved things around, which isn't helpful. Oh, there you are. Right. And I'm not finished yet. I've got something else I want to add on. So we use real red. So let's pop it on a nice real red card. Oh, it could have been my stencil, of course. That makes a lot more sense. Yes, I can see that there might be some red on there. Oh, Barbie, what would I do without you? Thank you. Yes, it was on my stencil. So I'm wanting to put on a little sentiment. Got lots of these little strips of card here, and I've got some metallic scraps. I'm thinking with all our love. That's nice. Yeah, happy little accidents, you know, that's okay. I'm not going to get to the end of it and then not use what I've done. With all our love. And then, let's see if I've got... Could use that, couldn't I? Right. So a great way to do little fishtail into your, or a banner end to your card, is you snip up the middle and then you snip from the side to the centre of that cut, and that creates nice fishtail banner ends to your project. And this is a strip here that I've run through the embossing folder, which I'm going to use. I'm going to have a bit of a double strip happening here. One can sit underneath. I want it to be a little bit longer than the sentiment. Like so. So remember, it's the finishing touches that can make the card. So just remember that when you're card making, or if you've been card making for a little while, you're not quite sure maybe how to finish a card or to step it up a notch, then ribbon and embellishments can just really help to finish it off. So this is our lovely real red twine, which if you watch me you'll know that I like the twine. And now I've got three colours. I've got the neutral colour, which is great for lots of projects. And we've got a new mossy meadow colour coming out. Just trying to find my embellishments. With the dragonfly suite, so we've got that colour as well. So it's just really handy. And it's easy to work with as well, that's the other bonus. So I wanted some red gems. Okay, let's get this together. Let's get it together. I am wondering, let me think. Now that I've got pink on the edges, I wonder if I could do a little bit more of a, just a bit more of a vignette, as they say, around the edges. So this might not be a card that you just give to any kind of acquaintance. This might be, you know, a card that you've worked on that you want to give to somebody special. And you can personalise it with some alphabet dies or stamps. Or sometimes the message inside can be personal enough, can't it? So let's get this stuck down. Just using some wet multi-purpose liquid glue, which means that I can stick it and wiggle it if necessary. But then after about 10 seconds it will hold fast, so you've got that advantage. And then we're going to add on our strips. So is anyone here gearing up for Christmas? Are you getting sorted? Have you made your cards? Or are you a bit of a last minuter? Do things last minute and don't worry about it till then. And then some glue dots. Linda's been busy making, good. Now, if you're the kind of person that likes to be really organised, there is a Christmas challenge group called the Christmas Stampathon. At the moment it's called Christmas Stampathon 2020. No doubt it changes name next year. Well, that one's not stuck yet. And we do challenges every month before Christmas, from January to October, November time. So it gets you all sorted for Christmas with cards and tags and things. Just looking for the lid of my piercing tool to make sure I don't stab myself. I've had enough of that going on this morning. I'm going to add in some of these embellishments. Space you out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Can we squeeze? I think we could squeeze one more in here for our extra special card. Cindy's done a couple of Christmas cards, done just to sample it. Yeah, I think it gives like a nice vintagey kind of Christmas, don't you think? And it's nice with that wood effect on the fireplace to give that sense of it being real wood, and these hanging holly with the shiny berries. Ah, all I need now is some Christmas music. There we go. There's today's card using the Fireside Trimmings. And like I said, you can do an autumn display. Now, if you were thinking to do a simple card, let's have a look at this. If I was thinking about doing a simple card, what you could even do, thinking about the elements, is to just pop it into a I'm just thinking about the circle shape. Okay, shall we have a quick go? That was my more technical card. If you want to stick around and you've got time, I'm going to see if I can show you maybe another version, but going a little bit simpler. So I'm just going to bring back my stamparatus to take my stamps off. I'm going to grab myself a piece of plain Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to ink up the top half of my mantelpiece, but I'm going to get my squeaky squeak. Where are you? Ah, hi there, Joe. Just caught you whilst waiting for my little granddaughter from school. Oh, how sweet. So if you missed it, we've just made this kind of a luxury Christmas card, and I'm going to aim to do something a bit simpler to see what we can get done here. So I think I might have rubbed out too much. Let me just go over that again to make sure that I do get the print that I want. Right, let's see if this is going to work. Alternatively, you can mask it off with like a bit of post-it note. Okay, so I did get a smudge on there. I was just thinking, I wonder if the I was just wondering if the die cut out that bit or not. Okay, so plan B, I'm going to try it with post-it note. So what you do is you ink up your, turn him over for the emergency side. I'm going to grab a post-it note and cover up the bit that I don't want to be stamped. And that way the ink won't go where it shouldn't. Like so. There you go. It's good to show you what happens, you know. In the world of crafting, things aren't perfect because they're handmade, and that's okay. And sometimes I'm here to show you how to get beyond that point of frustration and things going wrong. You know, don't give up, just keep trying, but maybe try a different way of doing it. So, what should we have on our mantelpiece this time? Let's have a look. So we're going simple, so we could hang up a wreath and the candles go on the candle stand, and then I need maybe a little object. Where's my little clock gone? Maybe just something that will fit down onto there. So this is if you wanted to go, whoa, what's gone on there? Thank you for the big clap, Valerie. I looked at my screen and it suddenly went really, really blurry. So because we're going to keep this simple, if you're new to Stampin' Up, maybe don't have lots of colours, I'm going to go in with, at this stage, monochromatic. So there's my candle stands, and then these candles are at an angle because they fit nicely on top. And then we'll put our clock on. this side. And I've smudged. How did I manage that? Oh dear. I can't turn over again. I've not got any more emergency sides. So, if you get a smudge, there's ways around that too. We cover it up. We pretend it never happened. Get one of my handy strips. I am a little bit high. I could probably do with coming down a bit. If I wanted to, I could chop that up and maybe make 2 cards. There we go. Plan B. Hi, Christine. Right, so the next thing is, if you don't have a lot of Stampin' Up things and you want to do some colouring in, and you've got some, hopefully got some ink pads to play with, you can use these blender pens. So you give your ink pad a squeeze. You get 3 of these pens in a set for £11.25, and they're dual ended, so you're basically getting 6 for your money. Christine says, I just made a card using this set yesterday. I think it's similar to the one you did in the past. Wendy said splodge monster, so that's where he's gone. Oh, he keeps coming to me, Wendy. He's not scared to turn up at my house, unfortunately. So I'm just going to do round squiggles, fill in my wreath. You know, you could spend forever colouring, or you could just do small motions. Just got to be a little bit careful around the ribbon. There. That didn't take too long, did it? And then let's think about what colour we want things. So I think I'm going to go for a green clock. There we go. And I'm wondering about the candlesticks being green now as well. So remember, the more you colour with these, the lighter it goes, because the ink gets used up. So you could do a little bit of shading. You got the splodge monster at your house, Linda, have you? And then let's bring in some red. So with my blender pens, I tend to use the same nib for the same colour. It just makes life easier without having to clean it off every time. So I saw that tip from another demonstrator and I thought it was a great idea. So I use it myself. These blender pens are underrated. I think they're great. If you, like I said, if you're new to crafting and don't have lots of things, I might just colour the clock face in. Gone and smudged again, so I'm just going to style that out. Pretend it was supposed to be like that. There, very different, very simple. And then to jazz this up, we can, let's have a look if I've got any green cards. So this is, you know, very simple stamping. Nothing too complicated. I haven't got that colour cut out. Wendy, does he come from your house, the splodge monster? I don't want him here. You can have him back. Okay? He's not very welcome here, but he does keep turning up unwanted. So I think we need to do something about that. Okay, I want to see what this looks like by itself. What have you got? 3 sets of Linda? The blender pens. They're great for being out and about and you just want to do a bit of stamping. So there is my very, very simple card. Now, there's a few things you could do to this. You can pop it up with some dimensionals, or we now sell the foam sheets, which is like a great big dimension, and I think that would look rather cute like that. I could go ahead and I could add some ribbon up the side to make it look even more taste of Christmas. Another way of making it look, just trying to look for my scraps, to lift it up even more would be to add some metallics behind it. So once you've got the initial image, there are lots of ways of being able to add to it or to do other things with it. Now the great thing about the size of this set also is because it's got lovely small images, you can use it for tags. It's great for that sort of thing as well. So to finish off our card, wondering whether, let's see, we've got some, oh that's cherry coffee. That's the wrong colour. So the other thing you can do, sorry, I'm thinking on the as I go, is to do tone on tone colour. So I'm going to use one of the stamps that I've already used in my card and add to the background. So we've got a tone on tone colour. So we don't have to go all the way across the middle because remember our picture is going to be there. You've got the stamp, you've already got the ink colour, so you might as well use it, and you can use it to your advantage by adding, oh, look, he's back again. Honestly, can't get rid of him. Does somebody want him? Now, another thing you could do, again I just thought about it, is say you've only got those 3 colours, the red, the green and the grey, is to get your card, I'm going to zoom out a bit, I feel like I'm a bit too close, there we go, and I'm going to push it into the ink pad, okay, just push it in. I'm not going to swipe it, I'm not going to do anything else, I'm just literally pushing it into the ink pad. And that gives you a nice border of colour. Hold on to the middle of your card and give it a push down. Be careful not to smudge because the ink will be obviously wet. Okay, so that's given me a lovely automatic red border. Let's just carefully pick this up. Pop it back. So look how different that is. Just by adding the red border, we've got a nice background of stamped image there of the wreaths, which brings it all together. So me personally, I would go ahead and add a bit of ribbon because I feel like it needs something. Now, if you happen to have this duo pack, it means you can give yourself a double bow. Now this is the wrong green. So I'm really going to step it up now and pretend that you've got some blends, I think. Oh no, I've got the wrong colour blend. Let's see if I can change this to match. It darkens the ribbon a little bit. Turned it into Mossy Meadow. So we're going super luxury now. Oh, I'm missing my bow finger. Look, I can't tie bows with a plaster on. Not so easy. There, look, such a luxury just in the corner. So there's lots of ways in which you can step up your card and make it go from plain and simple to being a little bit more exciting with not very many things. Okay, I added the bow, which was a bit of a splash out at the end. I'm just going to grab my phone. I had to buy some more. I've gone through the first lot. I like these. They're really easy to work with. So you get, how many sheets? 1, 2, 3. You get 6 of these foam adhesive sheets, and they're like a giant dimensional. The great thing about this is you can cut them down to however you want, either with scissors or your mini trimmer will do it. So in order to be a little bit more frugal, I like to cut these down into strips, and you can use them in blocks or in strips on your card. Or I just do whatever I like and just cut it any old how. But it kind of covers a bigger surface. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's lovely always to have some company when I'm crafting. So I'm speaking to someone rather than the internet, you know. And like I said, I'll be back at 9 o'clock tonight, either 9 or 9:30 depending. Like I said, I'm hoping to work with Ruth on maybe doing something with the paper pumpkin kit, and I'll show you that kit once I've stuck this down. Don't forget, if you want to write a wish list with me or get your friends and family to get on an order through me, I would suggest getting on and doing it in November rather than waiting too long. So there you go. There's my more simple card, and here's my more luxurious card. Very different, but if you don't have all the bits and pieces, then it means you can just step up this. So again, I would probably come in and add some gems or some... Oh yeah, sorry, I find it very difficult to leave things plain. I'm just going to stick a few berries on because it looks like that's what it needs on it. So, there we go. So it bugs me it doesn't have 5. There. Makes me happy. Make sure they're stuck down. There. Christmas is coming. Lovely to see you all. I'm just going to turn you around so don't get seasick. We're a bit close. There, so please do come back at 9 o'clock tonight and join me on my YouTube channel, stampinstarcreations.co.uk. I think I'd better say I'm coming on at 9 and then I'll tell Ruth that's what we're going to do, rather than to confuse anybody. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Oh, school's out now. You've got to go. Take care. Nice to see you on here, Jo. I hope that's given you ideas and some inspiration. Sometimes with new sets you can get stuck. You don't know quite what to do with it. But do head over to my YouTube channel. Like I said, I did a bridge fold card with that, and I'll be loading this onto YouTube at a later date. So don't forget, for all your shopping needs, you can come to me at stampinstarcreations.co.uk. If you're not already, do like my page so that you can catch my posts. Try and post most days in the week, and you can catch me live on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Thank you so much. If there's no more questions, I'll leave you to your day. Take care. I'm just going to quickly catch up to see... No, not missed any comments as far as I can see. Hi to anyone catching on replay, because I know that a lot of you do that when you wake up or when you get a chance. Somebody missed it due to a phone call. Oh, Carol, I'll leave it up here for you to watch, but thank you for hopping on, Carol. It's nice to see you. Take care. Bye for now.